One thing with skateboarding, especially as you get older, it seems like progression tends to slow. And I think for a lot of us starting out, progression was a huge motivator. One thing that definitely kept me going when I was younger is the fact that I was learning new tricks pretty often. It'd be like maybe one a month or so. And anymore, once you have most of the basic tricks down, that progression really kind of slows down and can halt for a lot of people. But I think honestly what's happening is that we're keeping our definition of progression very strict. Progress exists in a lot of different ways, and today I want to go ahead and show you guys how progress can kind of exist without you even realizing it. Today I'm going to work on progressing a few tricks, share some ways that you guys can also progress, change the way you view your personal progression within skateboarding, and hopefully reignite that fire that got you started skating in the first place. So progression for a lot of people can look very different. When we're younger, a lot of the progression comes from getting new tricks, learning to drop in, board sliding your first rail. All those things can feel so huge, so instrumental. And in all reality, those things are huge and instrumental. It's what lights the fire, it's what keeps you going. The odds, the chances of landing something new, taking home a new trick, figuring out something. As you age, those things you do, a lot of the progression can be in your mentality. Oh, the feeling of being consistent with something, of understanding what your feet are doing. Because I, for one, can say that a lot of me learning new flip tricks when I was younger, it was a lot of flick and pray. Setting my feet up into just about the right spot that I think will work, jumping, flicking, and just hoping that something works. It led to a lot of ridiculous falls that were hilarious at the time. Looking back on it, a lot of those hurt a lot. And I feel a lot of those falls still to this day, but it was so worth it. Are you working on ollies? Yeah, you're getting them. I saw you doing it. Yeah, that's it. The weirdest thing about them is that you're not like touching your foot to the ground, but you're kind of just throwing the board. Like you see my foot doesn't touch the ground. Like that. Yeah, kind of. Like your foot itself will never be on the ground. It's just kind of like all your toes. That's the weirdest part. But it makes sense once you start trying it. I really think that any of you that are younger getting into skateboarding, use the time you have now while you're young and fearless. Really just kind of push your limits. Don't go out there and smoke your dome and end up with a brain injury, but try some stuff. Try new tricks. Skating street now, but that doesn't mean you can't start skating tranny too. That's the end of that. Skating a mini ramp, you can build a mini ramp, you can skate a ledge, etc. There's so many things, so many avenues that are open for you when you're first starting skateboarding. Your first year, 2 years, 3 years of skateboarding, you can really take it whatever direction you want. As you get older, it gets a little bit harder to divert and find new things. Like for me, being mainly a street skater who really likes flip tricks, it's been very difficult for me to learn transition tricks. It's been hard for me to take some of those flip tricks to ledges, both in and out of slides and grinds. It's been very difficult. And I think a lot of that comes from fear. And as we age, a lot of the mental progression that I was talking about can be overcoming fear. I, for one, get very scared jumping down things like this 5-star I'm sitting on. I'll ollie it every couple sessions, but that's about it. I kick flip it every now and then. I tried tray flip a few times the other day and just really wasn't feeling it. Tried to nollie it, just could not stick it. I tried board sliding the rail, I just get too scared. And it's stuff like that that really puts a damper on things. It really kind of makes me feel like I'm not progressing because I'm not able to do these things. But the older I've gotten, I've found that my avenue in skateboarding isn't stairs, rails, giant ramps. That's just not me. My progression looks a lot different. It might look the same for you, it might be totally opposite from you. But your progression changes as you change. As you age, as you mature, a lot of the progression that you find on your skateboard is gonna come in different ways. You gotta keep your mind open. You're not gonna land a new trick every time you step on your skateboard. You're not gonna jump down higher and higher stair sets every time you get on your board. Things aren't just gonna click every time. You might set out to learn a trick that day and actually get it, but the next day you might set out to learn something that you pictured as being easier, and it's not gonna work out. That's just not how it is. Skateboarding isn't a simple math equation. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 in skateboarding. 1 + 1 equals 4 sometimes, but sometimes it equals 3. Skateboarding's ridiculous. Don't set super stringent goals on yourself, super strict goals that you can only achieve one way. Don't do that. That's a recipe for a bad session. I've had plenty of those in my lifetime, skateboarding for 20+ years. I've had so many bad sessions, I can't even tell you. Had a couple last week, 2 in a row. It was awesome. No, it wasn't. But honestly, what makes it a bad session is me, my mentality, going back over the session in my head, looking at the footage, etc. That's my brain telling me it was a bad session when in all reality it was a great session. I was out skateboarding. It was awesome. Had a really fun time. That's what matters. It doesn't matter if you're learning tricks, progressing in a way that others can see. Hey, oh wow, you've been working on kickflips for a while. I see you finally got them. Good job, man. Yeah, we all know that progression, but the progression that happens in your mind that lights that internal fire, that's what's really important. I bet he loved that. Shabba habba lab lab. I think that's something we could all work on, is redefining our definition of progress. Your definitions have to be flexible, have to be kind of loose, especially within skateboarding as you age. You're not gonna be able to skate the same that you once did. You're gonna be drawn to different things. Maybe you're not a super gnarly flip trick person anymore. Your skating's gonna change over time. We adapt as our bodies change. Our flexibility often gets severely reduced from injuries, from where we work, how we sleep. Our health can deteriorate to factors outside of our control. So progress has to change. Our definition of progress has to change as we age, or we're never gonna get there. You can't have a fixed goal on the horizon that you're always going towards. It has to be flexible. Things change. Your definitions will change with it. Your skateboarding is gonna change. My skateboarding now is quite a bit different than it was 10, 15 years ago. I'd like to say that I am a lot better at skateboarding now. I look a lot more comfortable on my skateboard most of the time, besides that front side flip. Biscuits. And although I might not be jumping down stuff, I never kept improving my stair skating. I only ever skated an 8 stair. I skated 2 8 stairs in my life. Skated a couple 7 stairs, skated 6 stairs, but I never kickflipped an 8 stair like I wanted to, never tray flipped a 7 stair like I wanted to many years ago, never frontside flipped a 5 stair. There's so many things I haven't done, and these goals that I'll probably never achieve, because honestly, that's not the kind of skating that I'm drawn to anymore. Those are no longer goals. If I were to do those things now, I would see that as progress, but it's not something that I want to carry on doing. If I go kickflip an 8 stair right now, I'm not going to set out to kickflip a 9 stair or a 10 stair in the near future. No. As an aging skateboarder, one of the hardest things to really accept is that you're not going to be able to skate the way you are today forever. Even on your worst days. Your worst day skateboarding now might be your best day in 10 years. You have to accept that. And what's that tell you? It tells you that you need to not base the success of your sessions, you need to not base your definition of progress on how many tricks you land, on how fast you skate, how far you grind, how long you can slide, how long you can hold manuals, etc. You need to stop basing your definition of progress and fun on these strict, rigid goals of success versus failure. What determines if a session was successful or not should be if you left with a smile on your face. If you left wanting to get back out there, do some more skateboarding the next day. Maybe you'll leave sore. You were successful, but you're leaving sore. You're probably not gonna be able to skate for a couple days. That's great, that's still a success. That's progress. Staying on your skateboard for the longest amount of time possible, that is the kind of progress that you should be striving for. That should be your overall goal. I know my goal personally is to skate until I'm 70 and beyond. I don't ever plan on taking breaks from my skateboard. I want to at least be able to say that I've skated every week since I was, what, 12 years old, 11 years old? I think I can pretty safely say I've been on a skateboard at least once a week ever since I was 10, 11 years old. And that's something I'm really proud to say. And that's only been possible because I haven't given myself these strict goals, like either accomplish this or stop. If you can't do this, then it's not worth it. I've worked really hard to remove that vocabulary, to remove that frame of thought from my mind, that it's not like that. People that draw, they don't draw because they want to get good. They draw because drawing feels good. It's a hobby. People that play guitar don't play guitar just because they're really good and they want to get really good, start a band, be famous. No, they play guitar. They have these hobbies because they're fun. They bring them joy, brings them relaxation, brings them some sort of zen that they don't get in everyday life. That's what skateboarding is too. Albeit it's a loud form of zen that often involves knocking your skeleton into concrete and metal, but it's your zen nonetheless. I want to thank you guys for watching. Here's your verse for the day.
Hebrews 12:1. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. I hope that you all can stay strong to who you are, to persevere regardless of what this world tells you. Stay strong. Much love. God bless.
Peace out. God bless. See you in the next one. There's a fly on my head. Oh my gosh. Ugh.